Y'all, I feel like I need to get on here and just testify and thank the Lord about several things that have happened. I feel like there's been such a battle. I've really had a rough winter, health-wise, therapy, all that PT that just focused on, it didn't let me focus on any strengths. We just focused on all my weaknesses. And for 3 months of that, 3 times a week, to focus on your weaknesses, did a number on me emotionally. And I know that probably sounds crazy, and I should be so beyond this at 16 years out, but I wasn't, apparently. And there's a spiritual lesson in that, let me tell you, that when we focus on our weaknesses, it just gets a head game, and this is what Satan does. And I understand the need of that for physical therapy, but it was such another spiritual lesson, again, that this crazy disability teaches me. So that's been rough. I've had some sicknesses that have been pretty rough. I got a pretty bad respiratory stuff last week, and I have very weak diaphragms that affected my breathing abilities, and that was pretty scary. So thankfully, steroids and antibiotics have cleared that up. I'm feeling much better. But all that to say, it's just been rough. I've had a rough go, and the work of the Lord goes on, and I'm encouraged in the work of the Lord, but sometimes it can feel like a very lonely journey in many ways, between being alone and single, and also a disability where I can't always just go do it myself. So that can just, it plays with you, and it's just part of trying to encourage yourself in the Lord. And there are so many that are encouraging to me, but it's a mind game. It is, and that's where Satan gets in. And so anyway, all that to say, this week, my wheelchair batteries were going out, and they're about $400. My van needed an oil change. I have a meeting in Tennessee next week. I'll be gone almost all week long. And then Monday night, my ramp on my van broke, which means I couldn't go anywhere by myself because I can't get myself in and out without somebody helping manually now do the ramp, the motor. So it all just felt a little overwhelming and all happening at one time, and you just pray and don't know what to do. And of course, we're building this house, and all this kind of stuff is going on, and it's a busy ministry week. We had Esther Society this week. I've got Mighty Moms and Single Ladies tomorrow night, a fun activity, but it's just busy. And I was like, wow, this is really a rough week. And a couple weeks ago, the front air vent went out on my van. The back air vent works and the defrost works, but no air, heat or air coming out of the front. And so Elisha and I checked the fuses, and it wasn't that. And with everything else, with needing the batteries and all that, I was like, well, that's just going to have to wait. So that got put on the back burner. Well, today I went to get my ramp van looked at, and the wonderful guys at North Georgia Mobility, who I highly recommend if you're in this area, but he said it's a motor. We got to put a new motor in, and that's going to be about $700. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's got to be ordered. And he was able to get it fixed, though, at least enough to let me be able to maneuver with zip ties and blocks of wood. How he did it. But I'm like, I really got to go to this meeting next week. And he's like, let me see what I can do. So we have jerry rigged it until we can see. We'll just pray help me pray it stays together. Be going to that meeting by myself next week, so help me pray about that. But we're just going to trust that it will. But here's the sweetness I have to tell you. I was on the way home. I stopped by CVS. I'd refill a prescription, and when I'm in line, suddenly, I got to tell you something else first. While I was there and they were looking at my van, I said, do y'all sell wheelchair batteries? And I know they're $400, but I thought, you know what, I really don't want to go next week and my batteries go out. And he said, yes, but I think, let me give you a number of a guy. I think your insurance will pay for those. And so I called this guy, and he said, absolutely, I can send a tech over right now while you're sitting there, and we can change your batteries. And so I was like, well, hallelujah, because that just saved me $400, and insurance will pay for them, and they already got them changed out, and so I'm good to go. So that was a blessing. So I'm on the way home after all that, sitting in line at CVS, and had just got the medicine and was about to drive away, and suddenly the air vents kicked on. And I just busted out crying. And it's not about the air vents. It's not about the air vents. It was that it just felt so sweet of Jesus to, I don't know, they've not worked for 3 weeks, and suddenly they're just blowing all this air, and they're working. Nothing was done. Nothing changed except Jesus. And I've been an emotional wreck about it, not because of the air vents. I am so thankful the air vents are working, but that Jesus does care, and he sees, and he knows, and the little blessings along the way that he sends just to cheer you up and wait on the Lord, and be of good courage, and he will renew your strength. And that did it. That has been I can't tell you the shot of nitro that just put in this girl's veins, and I needed it. And the Lord knew that, and he did that for me today. And I already texted several people that I love, and I'm just shouting, but I just can't keep quiet about that. I just feel like that needs to be a testimony that needs to be shared. And something else really sweet that happened this week is the rough-in electrical wiring went in. But I have to tell you about that because I have a marketing client, design their website, their logo, write blogs for them every month, and they had reached out and said, whenever your time for the wiring rough-in, you let us know. And they're in Gainesboro, Tennessee, AJ Electrical. If anybody's in that area, call them. They're wonderful people. And they said, whenever you're ready, he said, I'm going to send a crew down, and we're gonna rough in all your wiring for you for free. And that happened this week, Monday and Tuesday. The sweet crew came and did such a wonderful job and got that all. And that is just another wonderful, precious blessing that, I never want to not be thankful. I never not want to praise and thank the Lord publicly and others for their investment in my life. Jesus is using people to encourage me, and I thank you for that. So thank you for your prayers. Keep them up. I need it. I'm not lying. I'm not being dramatic. This disability alone is a full-time job, and it's enough. It's enough at times to try to keep your head in a good place, and all that goes with it. And then there's other things, of course, in my life, but I just want to serve Jesus. I want to serve him wide open with everything that's in me, as long as he'll allow me. And you all in your prayers, and letting the Lord use you to be a blessing to me. It means more to me than you'll ever know. So thank you. I love y'all. Let's just rejoice in the goodness of God together today.